Hello folks, how's it going? It's me, your favorite brown boy, the apple of your eye, and the greatest chubby little boy of all time, Nav Walia. And welcome to another new episode of Quarter Life Chit Chat. I'm sure you've heard the infamous age-old saying, right? That April showers bring May flowers. I'm sure all of you have heard it, and that saying is more true than ever as currently we're in spring season. But the one thing, or I should say the few things that people leave out of that amazing little saying is that April showers not only brings May flowers, but it also brings seasonal confusion, unexplainable motivational bursts, and my personal deep hatred for lawnmowers. Now, if you haven't guessed it correctly, let me spill the beans. On today's episode, we're celebrating the infamous and the beloved season that is spring. The season where flowers are blossoming, people's allergies are going wild, and there's always a faint noise of someone aggressively power washing their car in their driveway. Now, as I said before, I am loving spring, though it has caused me a lot of annoyance. This past winter, it was rainy, mushy, summer's ahead, and you know that I have a personal beef with the sun, but spring? You see, spring is that chaotic, hot girl, flirty era season. Everything is upbeat, joyous, and just perfect. And I am thriving in it. So without further ado, let's get this episode on the road and talk about all things spring, the great and the annoyances. Now, the first thing about spring is the amazing mood shift. Growing up, I've heard of people having seasonal depression. I've heard of, people having some mood disorders during the winter. But being a brown person, if you didn't know, we just don't believe in anything associated with mood disorder or mental health. I don't know where that comes from, but I think it's just a brown people thing. So I didn't really understand, when people said that they're having seasonal depression during the winter, it just didn't make sense to me. And I thought it was all made up, like how a lion is a mythical creature. Now, before you say lion very much is real, trust me, they're not. Because if lion's real, prove it. Show me a lion. I've been on the planet for 26 years and I've never seen a single lion. So what does that tell you? That it isn't real. But boy, was I wrong. Oh my God. This past winter was atrocious. It fucking rained every day, all through November and December, and even January. And I'm surprised that with so much rain, the city of Victoria didn't get flooded and become like the ancient city of Atlantis. Call me crazy, but I would love if the city of Victoria became the next Atlantis, because I am dying to enter my heroic era of being the next Aquaman. But for now, I'll just keep being me, which is a multiple times medical school rejected brown kid who makes podcasts to deal with an L. So, considering winter was so atrocious and being a straight man, I never reflected on spring. Spring has always been a very girly season, let's be fucking real. But I said that about fall too, right? And look at me, I loved fall. So I don't know what happened, but one day I woke up and it was sunny out. And the temperature was 11, 12 degrees. And it was nice. The sunlight hitting my skin felt warm and nice. What was this magic? And I'm not gonna lie, I thought seasonal depression didn't exist until I realized that seasonal depression does exist. Because when I stepped out of my house in that sunlight during that 12 degrees Celsius day, trust me, I could feel the serotonin faucets come live in my brain, and I felt happiness. And let me tell you, I'm sure most of my listeners don't know what happiness feels like. And I can tell you, as a person that has experienced it at least once, it feels like a bunch of leprechauns kissing you gently on your sweet, sweet face while you're drinking a lovely, lovely chocolate milkshake. That's what happiness feels like. And god damn it, I felt it. And I've been in love with spring ever since. It has been so beautiful in Victoria. Cherry blossoms are blossoming, and it's lovely, lovely, windy every single day. And it has made me so motivated to go on my walks that every single day I'm out here on the streets walking and listening to music and just thinking and letting my imagination run wild, and it is so pleasant. I am telling you, fuck therapy. It's not a thing. We don't need therapy. Just go on a walk during a lovely windy spring day. And I'm telling you, it can override any trauma you have from childhood. And going on my walks and feeling the sunshine on my skin and the cold breeze on my face, I have realized how enjoyable it is to go outside. Shit, who would have known? I thought my parents were psychotic for all these years telling me to go outside and touch grass. I thought, boy, my parents are beginning to lose it at the very tender age of 50 years old. But who would have thought that parents know something? Shocking, I know. And spring has been so lovely lately that it has made me contemplate if winter even is my favorite season. People that know me, I know it's such a hot take for me, but I am really considering if winter is even a good season. Winter 2024 was not giving cozy. It was giving soggy socks and mild seasonal depression. But with the mood shift that comes with spring, there also comes an awakening. Not only of motivation, not only of desire to go outside for a walk and listen to music or read books. No. Spring also awakens your Delulu energy. And you might be wondering, damn, Nav, why is spring making you Delulu? Because spring is a time of hope. And it's giving me Delulu energy that I will be achieving Zac Efron God bod in a month. It is giving me the hope or the Delulu energy that I have my shit together and that I am not lazy at all. Spring is essential for all us Delulu people because we need hope. Because if we didn't enjoy the hope and the Delulu awakening that comes with spring, trust me, none of us will have our shit together. And we already don't have our shit together. Let's be real. Everybody that's listening to this episode right now, you don't have your shit together. But tell me if I'm lying. The vibe in the air that is spring, and it's giving you that hope that summer's around the corner, and summer's always a magical time in the Western hemisphere of the world. Tell me it's not giving you a false hope that better days ahead. And I'm sure everybody that's listening to this energy knows that ahead of us is not warm and cozy time of upbeat, but rather just annoyances of bullshit shenanigans that come with adulting that none of us want to do, such as doing laundry, washing a ton of dishes, and taking care of your health. Let's just be real. Nobody's trying to do some adulting shit. It sucks. But I will say, I've talked to a couple of my coworkers and a couple friends, and I said, why is spring cozy? And the collective answer that I got is that spring always reminds you of a core memory. Each one of you that's listening to this episode right now, just think of a core memory. And everybody will always have many memories that connect from that core memory. And that's the magic of spring. Spring is that perfect appetizer because it sets up the whole vibe for the next coming months. For me, that core memory is being back in high school and playing baseball, knowing that we're about to graduate soon, and looking forward to not being in school during the summer break and then adulting and going to college, and that excitement that you don't know what was planned or what was ahead, but knowing we're all going to be 18 and taking life by the horns and seeing what happens. But boy, were we wrong, because if I learned anything, being 18 and taking life by the horns was not a good idea, because life's like bull. You grab its horn, you get killed. So boy, did I learn my lesson in the hard way. Yeah, miss those days. And that's the thing that I love about spring. I wake up with sunshine, I go on my walks, and the blend of the breeze and just the perfect temperature, it just sends you thinking and reminiscing about the good old times. But it's not just the reminiscing of memories that spring brings. It's also the small joys. The cherry blossoms blossoming, your TikTok For You page being spammed with people doing cozy spring things, or it's maybe you, thinking about all your fits for the coming week because you can now wear vibrant clothes and it's not winter or fall anymore, so you don't need to look like a sad ghost who's wearing too many layers and they all happen to be either gray, black, or dark navy. And I'm not joking, okay? I used to think that people in the fall and winter become really, really aesthetic and creative with their clothing. But boy, was I fucking wrong. I was on my walk today, and I shit you not, people, I literally saw a guy in white linen pants and a white shirt, brown belt, with sunglasses on, and I'm not joking. That man was dripping money and sex. It was, listen, I am not gonna lie. I am straight. But I know what a handsome guy looks like when I see a handsome guy. And I was so inspired that I came home from my walk, I pulled out a white shirt, and unfortunately I don't have white pants, but what I did do is I took my white towel and I wrapped it around my waist and pretended like it's, pants. And unfortunately I just looked like a giant fucking marshmallow, because that man was fit and I looked like a swollen watermelon. But the point is, the white on white works. And I never in my life thought of that, and I've never seen a person wear all white in public ever, and I'm not gonna lie, I was amazed. A little bit longer into my walk, I saw this amazing couple, and the gentleman was wearing a fedora, a blue shirt, khaki pants, and his partner was wearing this amazing summer dress, and I was like, wow, it's nice to see people not wear dark colors and multiple layers. I'm not joking. I think spring has single-handedly changed my whole mentality and it's opened my mind to all the depths in fashion. I am not joking, those that know me know the only colors I wear are black, and that's about it. And I think I need to start incorporating other colors. But considering, spring is such a goated season, we need to be real, right? Let's just be real for a minute. Spring also fucking sucks sometimes. And this is a true story that happened to me literally today. Legitimately, 2 hours. I'm literally looking at my clock right now. This happened about 2 to 3 hours before I'm recording this episode. And that is mowing grass. I cannot tell you how much I despise the smell of grass and despise the smell of fucking gasoline coming from, a lawnmower when people turn it on. The sound of the lawnmower, and just straight up cutting grass. It is the worst thing I have ever thought of. I would much rather have a person tie me to a chair and punch me repeatedly in my face than cut a grass for like 35 minutes. I am not joking. I despise it. Okay? My parents have been nagging me for the past 3 days to cut the grass. And I was like, hey, listen, I'll do it before this weekend ends. And they were just not happy with it. And we all have parents, and I'm sure I don't need to explain any further. All of you can understand my pain. So I decided to cut the grass today, and I'm not joking. The grass itself was probably about 2 inches in length. Okay, maybe a bit less than 3 inches. During that time, cutting the grass, I realized one thing. Grass might be the biggest hoax in the Western world that everybody has signed up for. Think about it. Grass is nothing but literally weeds. That's all it is. Grass is a fucking weed, and we all pay a lot of money to plant it in front of our houses and then spend countless hours throughout the year maintaining it, cutting it, not even to mention the annoyance of cleaning your lawnmower after cutting it just to repeat it all over again within a week. And not even to mention, in order to make it look pristine, we also sprinkle it with water, which is just water wastage and drives up your water bill. It is the biggest fucking hoax of all time. It makes no sense. Every single time I leave my house and I see any house, whether in my neighborhood or by the bay I live on, or even like in the city, and I see anybody with fake grass in front of their house, I just make a mental note to always respect everybody that lives in the household, because that person is smart as hell. They have the aesthetic of having a grass without the detrimental side effects of maintaining grass. And grass is the biggest hoax of the Western world. I cannot explain to you how fucking pissed I was cutting the grass. I legit spent 2 hours cutting the grass, picking up the grass shavings, cleaning my driveways, all of this nonsense. 2 fucking hours. And I know within probably under 2 weeks I'm going to have to repeat it. And I just want to say, if you're like me, who lives with their parents, or, your parents tell you to cut the grass, I don't know what it is. And maybe I'll know the answer when I become a parent myself. But why is it that every parent, the moment your grass gets longer than 1 inch, they start panicking like the world is ending tomorrow if they don't cut the grass? Explain that to me. Why does every parent panic the moment their grass gets longer than 1 inch? Is it just my parents? Is it just a universal thing? Am I crazy? What is happening? I need answers. And although I don't have allergies, not to mention all the fucking people that have grass allergies, you motherfuckers gotta cut grass and deal with it. Worst of all, you might not even have any grass on your property, and you gotta deal with other dumb fucks who are cutting their grass. And not even to mention all your neighbors who every Sunday at 8 a.m. decide, I'm gonna turn on my lawnmower and cut the grass while you're having a nice little sleep in your house. This is legitimately why spring and summer fucking sucks. Because the annoying grass and all the lawn mowing noises. And if it's not lawn mowing noises, God forbid, it's gonna be your fucking neighbor who just bought a massive power wash machine and is power washing your fucking car. Why do you need to power wash your car in your driveway, man? More importantly, why are you making me listen to you power washing your car at 7 a.m. on a Sunday? Go take it to a car wash place. Support local business. What is wrong with you? Honestly, this is becoming a bit of a rant. And I don't want to make this episode too ranty. But moving on from cutting grass, the other reason that spring absolutely sucks is because summer is right around the corner. Summer sucks, okay? It's too hot. It becomes too humid. And if you don't have any breeze, you're dying. Your house is always hot. And the moment you step out of the house, you're always sweaty. And not to mention the mass amount of UV rays and the potentials, skin burns for all my white folks. I'm brown. I've never been skin burnt, ever. Sorry, not skin burnt, sunburnt, ever. Don't even think if brown people can get sunburn, if I'm being honest. All the people that are listening to the episode and you have had sunburns, tell me it doesn't suck, because I know it does. I've had many people tell me it hurts, it blisters, skin peels. That fucking sucks, man. I'm sorry. And all that happens because shit all summer. And that's why spring sucks, because the next season following up is summer, and that's a bummer. So that's where I'm at. Basking in springtime for now, reminiscing about my past memories, thinking of the cozy memories every single time I get hit with the spring breeze, enjoying the warm sunshine on my skin, and loathing the sound and the smell of people cutting grass and the shitty ass lawnmowers going on at 8 a.m. every Sunday. But what I absolutely do enjoy about spring is the Delulu energy that it gives all of us. And in this episode, I didn't cover the Delulu energy much, but trust me, an episode focusing on Delulu energy is very, very much on the horizon. So be on the lookout for that. I'll see y'all next time. And until then, I'm gonna go sniff a flower, take some pics of amazing scenery or of the ocean, and keep going on my walks. If you enjoyed this episode, please tell your family, friends, girlfriend, and your grandparents all about it, and share this podcast. I'll catch you on the next one. Hasta la vista, folks. Bye-bye!